it's part of my I guess part of my life, dressing up or dressing well. And that for me is, it gets me into the mindset of, okay, now that I'm dressed properly and now that I know I kind of look my best, I can handle whatever life throws at me. I'm a little bit older, that's all.
Man, well, hey, thanks for doing this interview. I really appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. I've been looking forward to meeting you ever since you mentioned doing an interview. So yeah, it's nice to kind of be here and hang out with you for a little while.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You as well. Thanks. Cheers. Are you drinking some espresso over there? What time is it on your end?
I just finished my coffee. I just had my breakfast. It's just after 8:30 in the morning. I was going to do a bit of a workout this morning, but I was too lazy. So, at least I've done something this morning,
Hey, yeah, this counts.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
What have you been up to?
Oh man, today I fully ordered our summer line. So I got that all designed and ordered. So excited about that. And I got our fall 2020 lookbook over to GQ this morning, which is great. So that was cool. I saw that you were featured in there a few times when we connected on LinkedIn.
Amazing. Yeah. I don't know about GQ US, but definitely GQ Australia. We've had a couple of mentions, which is nice. I think when you've been in the industry long enough, you get to know certain people, and that just mostly comes with time. So the guys I know who write for certain magazines like GQ, they often include me in lineups for different brands, and depending on the topic. Like I think there was one which was talking about the most sustainable labels in Australia. And,
oh, wow.
Yeah, a friend of mine wrote that, and he included us in that. So, yeah. But the funny thing is, if you don't know the writer, it's very unlikely that, well, in my experience, it's very unlikely that they'll know who you are and they'll give you a mention. So, good luck, man.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
if they end up mentioning you and you don't know anyone there, then you're on to something good, I think.
Yes. Well, yeah, I mean, that's great. I don't want to talk about it too much, but they reached out to us, so that's already a good sign.
Oh, amazing. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Thanks, man. Well, that's cool. So I had a productive day.
Yeah, now I know why you're happily sipping that whiskey.
Yes.
You earned it.
Hey, thanks, man. What's your favorite? We got some Macallan 18.
Nice. I prefer the peaty, smoky whiskeys. So,
man,
for example, my favorite is Lagavulin, but I also have Ardbeg, Lafroy, and a few others in my... Actually, I've got a lot of really obscure ones that I can't think of right now, mostly because they're at the shop and I haven't really been to the shop to enjoy those whiskeys for like 2 months. So, yeah. Now that you mentioned it, I'm really looking forward to, sitting down and sampling some of those whiskeys I've got there.
Yeah, that sounds great. I love Lagavulin myself. I haven't had Ardbeg. I'm a little bit more of a Speyside Scotch person, so I like the Highlands. But I do enjoy a good peat. Like I really like the Bruneladic. I think it's the 15. But yeah, that one's really good and peaty. So you guys are officially open now?
You mean the shop?
Yeah, the shop.
No. We're official opening is the 5th of June.
Okay.
And at the moment, I'm kind of just going in for appointments here and there. So officially, we're not open yet, but we are kind of. If someone wants to come in, then I'll meet them there. So
yeah, that's cool.
You have to keep the business running. You can't just sit back and say no to customers who want to come in. So
yeah. Absolutely. And congratulations on the rake too. That's like my favorite online shop, and I saw you guys on there, and that was really cool to see you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a lot of hard work, that one. A lot of people. It's funny. A lot of people see our successes, but they don't see the hard work or the struggle that kind of goes into achieving those things. So the rake, for example, it took us about 6 months of back and forth, sending them samples, waiting for them to kind of approve, stocking us on their site. So yeah, it was actually a lot of hard work to get on there.
Yeah, I imagine.
And as a new business owner, you're gonna really appreciate that hard work, Yeah,
absolutely, man. Yeah, I've owned a couple of businesses before this one, but this is my very first like retail physical product one. I've been in a few different like internet marketing companies, social media, like a lot of digital kind of stuff. My last business was a digital marketing agency. Yeah. And so like it's been so cool because I just felt like my past experiences in business ownership and things like that have really like prepped me to be able to like do this and like launch it well. But yeah, it's been such a blast. I can't believe it's already been like a week and a half since I messaged you and everything. It's just been flying by. It's pretty crazy.
So so you just ordered the first season. When are you officially launching?
So we're officially open. So I did have springs already good to go. But we are doing the pre-order model just like you guys. So we did, we're like accepting 50 pre-orders. We're going to start production June 15th. But we're offering the only discount we'll ever offer probably. And just to get some off the ground.
So you had 50 pre-orders?
We haven't gotten them yet, but we have 50 open. We're doing 50 pre-orders.
I was going to say, Jesus Christ.
Man, I wish.
Yeah. No, that's look, I remember when we first launched for our first product, which was the T005 linen trouser. We did this big kind of build up on Instagram, teasing it out. And when we finally opened for pre-orders, this is my wife and I, we thought we're going to get, maybe like 5 pre-orders overnight, like as soon as we launch, and then we'll get a few more kind of trickling through, and then we'll hit our target. I can't remember what the target was, but it might have been like 12 or 15 pairs or something. And overnight, so we opened pre-orders, I think it was at like 6 p.m. or something, and then we decided we won't look at the numbers, we won't look at the emails or anything until the next day. So the next day comes, and we were so excited to see how many pre-orders we'd had. We had 1 pre-order. We had 1.
Oh man!
So we quickly kind of realized, okay, it's not going to be that easy, And then we had to really like work really hard over the next couple of weeks to get the pre-orders rolling in, Mm-hmm. So, but more often than not, hard work pays off, and we ended up making it happen. We reached our target and managed to, pay for that first run in cash, which was amazing.
That's great.
Yeah, like it's very likely that you have to really hustle for those
Mm-hmm.
those first few. But it's part of it.
No, absolutely. Yeah, you have a great work ethic. I noticed that before we even had this conversation. Like, you're always just working really hard and responding to everybody in messages, which I really appreciate when I was a customer. And I still am a customer, but
yeah. Well, first of all, thanks for your support. I appreciate it. It's actually counterintuitive for me to work hard. So I'm one of those personality types who's very disappointed, disorganized, very, I wouldn't say lazy, but my mind goes towards the easiest thing, and I tend to procrastinate a lot. So I have to really catch myself when I'm going off on a tangent and come back. And I find the only way to really get the work done personally is to really immerse myself in the work, so I'm pretty much working all the time. And it has to be something I like. For example, if I was in another industry that I didn't really enjoy, then I wouldn't be able to do it. I'm lucky that I'm doing what I'm doing now because I find it fun. It doesn't feel like hard work most of the time. Sometimes it does. So yeah, I think, yes, I work hard, but it's difficult for me to do that, It's hard work.
Yeah.
Hard. Yeah.
No, I totally understand. That's exactly where I was at too. I just was kind of realizing that my own story from the mental health side of things. When I say mental health side, I mean like depression, anxiety, things that we all kind of struggle with, as men. And I was going through a really hard time. And when I first started getting into menswear to just give myself a little bit more confidence, I didn't realize then, but it was setting me on this path to where I'm at now of the main thing I enjoy is menswear, and how everything fits and color complexions and things like that are so fascinating to me. And I just love it. And when I was able to create a business that interlinks those two things that are the most important to me, it hasn't felt like work. And I think I've probably worked 80 hours a week for the last 8 months on this thing, and it's been a blast.
Yeah, that's when you're doing something right. When you can work 80 hours a week and it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like the concept that you're going with. I think now more than ever, it's so important to focus on mental health, and encouraging guys, especially guys, I think, encouraging guys to be more open and, reach out for help if they need it, but also to try and improve themselves and try and kind of combat or tackle the setbacks that they're facing in life. So, it's most guys won't talk about their feelings or won't talk about, what's going wrong in their lives. Most guys, or their vulnerabilities, most guys will be talking about, how great this is or how strong they are, or, when things are going right or when life's going their way, then they'll tell you about it. So yeah, I think it's important to shine light on this kind of issue. So yeah, congrats, man. I think it's tough. It's a hard kind of thing to do, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that, man. It means a lot coming from you. Thank you.
It's all right.
So tell me about Informale and why you started with sartorial casual wear. Like, I'm really curious about it because I know, like, I've seen you in your suit from your wedding, I think, if that's not weird to say, but and it looked amazing. So
it's my fault for sharing it with the world. So my first business, my second business, which was the one that I was kind of most well known for before Informale, was tailored suits. So I had a kind of a shop, the same shop that we're in now, but it was focused more on made to measure, handmade suits made in Naples. And, that whole realm of kind of Neapolitan, relaxed tailoring, that was kind of what I immersed myself in. And that became my niche in Melbourne and in Australia. And yeah, I think Informale was a very organic kind of result of what I was already doing. We launched in 2018, and the first thing that I wanted to do, and actually we didn't know how big it was going to be. So we just thought we would try and find someone in Melbourne to make a pair of nice linen trousers. I thought trousers were a fairly easy way to, get into a local manufacturer. And yeah, it was just a very, very organic kind of thing. We were already doing casual tailoring. So I thought, let's go a little bit more casual, but keep some of those tailored elements. And see if we can kind of find someone here in Melbourne who can do that. And we found someone, and we launched the pants, and the demand for them was insane. So we just kind of grew Informale, and all of a sudden I had to decide, should I continue doing the tailoring, or should I grab the bull by the horns and see how far Informale can take us. So so that's kind of the short story of how Informale came to be.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's so cool. Man, I am not as lucky to have a manufacturer pretty much in the United States even. So it's really cool that you guys found somebody right there in your city.
Yeah, I'm sure there are places in the States who can make things, but it depends on what you want, Yeah. Some manufacturers are great at a particular thing. But then if you want them to change, to do something different, it could be a disaster. So you really have to get really lucky, I think, to find something that works when manufacturing locally, unless you have the money to throw at it, and stuff,
fair enough.
And just, bribe your way into changing the manufacturing process at your local factory. Not bribe, but, just say, I'll give you, I'll pay whatever you want. Let's make it happen. But that's not something that people do really. So the alternative is to find somewhere around the world who will do what you need them to. So it is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are very lucky here.
Yeah, that's great. Where do you get your linen from? It's like the coolest linen I think I've ever seen in my life.
Thanks. It's an English fabric supplier. I'll message it to you later.
Okay.
They specialize in cotton, actually. So they do a lot of moleskin. They do a lot of corduroy. They have like 20 different corduroys. And they also do, cotton canvas, meaning the canvas of my jungle jacket, not kind of interior tailoring, suiting canvas. And they also have one line of linen, which is the one that we use. And I was actually working with them before for my tailoring.
Okay.
So that was another organic thing. I kind of was already working with them with kind of cut lengths. And then I kind of loved especially their linen at the beginning. So I just kind of said, hey, let's do more work. And they were happy to do it. So.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. The thing I love about Informale and your, like, just what I've noticed from the products that I've bought is it's very texturized. You look at each one is like very like open weave seemingly. And it's just really cool because it's so texture based and you can see it and it's very distinct. Like, is that something that you like really wanted to make like a signature?
I don't know. I guess it comes kind of it's part of my taste. I really love things with a bit of depth, visually, and I also don't like too much detailing in terms of design. So if the design is simple, how do you get the depth and how do you get something interesting? And most of that will come from kind of, the fabric. So
Yeah.
I guess it's just something that I really like. So, therefore we end up using a lot of textured fabric.
Hey, I love it. It's one of my favorite things in the world. So when I got my jungle jacket, I was so excited because of just how the texture was. It was better than the pictures even on your website, And so I was just like, this is the coolest thing that I own now.
Thank you, man. I'm glad you like it. Has it gotten a lot of wear?
Yeah, it has. Absolutely. I wore it pretty much every single day until it's gotten to be about like 80 degrees around here. So quite a bit.
Yeah. Have you washed it yet, or are you kind of keeping it?
No, I haven't watched it yet. I kind of want to see what kind of patina it gets.
Yeah, you'll find it's kind of like a pair of jeans. You can train the patina to some degree. I've had clients who have washed their jungle jackets multiple times, and each client who has done that has kind of a slightly different result. It'll fade in a different way, and there's particular areas where it wears more because they use like a certain pocket more than the others, or they're sitting on that chair a lot, so that the forearm here has an interesting kind of fade. So
that's really cool.
I love seeing them age. It's cool.
Yeah,
definitely
it's kind of
send me a photo when you see a bit of patina happening.
Yeah, absolutely. I will. Yeah, I love that, man. It's a lot like selvage denim, which I'm not like super into that world, but that's kind of what it sounds like. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome, man. So you don't have like a seasonality. So I was saying I was working on the summer line today, but you guys don't really have a seasonality to you, it seems. Yeah. Can you just go into like I noticed you mentioned the core product on your page the other day. Could you like expand on that a little bit?
I guess the first, when we were first coming up with this concept, it was driven mostly because we didn't really have the money to like go all out and create a whole collection, right? So we wanted to kind of slowly build out our range in a way that's kind of natural, and in a way that we can do it financially without hurting too much. And it made the most sense to just slowly release products throughout the year, as they become kind of, as I'm happy with them and they're ready. So and we've just continued that kind of concept from then till now, and it actually works quite well. It's interesting because for a lot of people who have studied fashion, I didn't study fashion or design or anything. It's so counterintuitive to them. They just can't wrap their heads around why I don't do, seasonal collections. But from a design perspective, especially when I'm designing something, I have to have in the back of my mind this idea that I want it to be around. I want it to be around for 5 years, So it has to be timeless. The quality has to be as high as possible. And I think with longevity in mind, I think it helps me to create, better things. So from that perspective, it really works for us. And pretty much the basic concept is we just add things to our range throughout the year, and we might refresh a style with a new color or a slightly different fabric or something. And down the track, when a design gets a little bit tired, or we've seen a drop off in interest, then maybe we'll slowly phase it out and then introduce something new. So for us, it works from that perspective, and it also works in the sense that we don't, as you mentioned, we don't have to discount. We don't have to clear stock and put everything on sale 2 or 3 times a year. And that means we're not devaluing our product, and we're not building this culture of people waiting for the sale, waiting to get it, to get the jacket 40% off. So, and it also builds, interestingly, which we didn't realize until later on, it builds this kind of mindset with our customers where they'll sit back and they'll consider it and they'll think about it, and do I really want this jungle jacket? And after maybe a few months of looking at the website, talking to me on Instagram, they'll kind of finally pull the trigger. And because they've thought about it and considered it, they really appreciate it, and they wear it kind of with more pride, I guess. And if you go on sale and if you kind of try to get these customers to impulsively spend their money, then I think you don't quite achieve that feel. The customer doesn't get that feeling of I really thought about this, and I'm really proud to wear it. Just becomes a source of quick satisfaction, which is not,
I'm sure,
which is not good for mental health.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it also creates like brand loyalty. I mean, it's probably like, yeah, I really thought about this and I purchased this piece from you guys, and it is obviously amazing. So it's, as soon as they see that it's like, you kind of get a customer for life even, I bet.
I hope so.
That's great, man. So what pulled you to be more of the Italian style with your, just when you started your suits and everything, like what pulled you towards that style as opposed to like English or even French?
I was probably 2 influences mainly. The first influence was I really got into the kind of hashtag menswear scene, which was based around Pitti Uomo and the kind of famous Italian tailors who are being featured on different Tumblrs and different Instagram accounts, and also through the place that I worked at. I worked at a luxury Italian suit maker for a number of years, and through them I was able to fly to Italy and visit their kind of factory and their design studio, and I think that was really what got me hooked on the Italian lifestyle as well as the Italian kind of style of tailoring.
Their lifestyle is pretty amazing. Yeah.
They really know. They know how to live, and they know how not to stress.
Yes.
There's no stressing happening, especially in southern Italy.
Yeah, that's great. And sometimes it's like hard when you order a suit from them because they're like, "Hey, it's Italian. Like, don't worry about it." You're like, "Cool, well, you still cut it wrong."
You give them a deadline, and they'll say, "Yeah, no worries." And then it reaches that deadline, and they say, "Oh, sorry, we had a delay. Didn't you think about telling me?"
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the only frustrating part, I think, in this industry. But otherwise, I love them so much. And Yeah, Luca's stories are always so fun to watch.
Oh yeah,
he's a blast.
yeah.
He's always so kind too.
Yeah, yeah, typical Italian guy.
Yeah, absolutely. So who are some of your inspirations that you pull from specifically, like some of those guys?
Yeah, it's hard for me actually to say, because I don't really pull inspiration from anywhere specifically, you know. Um, yeah, Luca Rubinacci is amazing. If I had to name, you know, some people, some Italians, my friend Nicola Rodano, another like super cool Neapolitan dude. The guys from Shamat, I don't know if you've heard of Shamat before.
No, I haven't.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Nicola Ricci and Valentino Ricci, brothers. I think they're from Puglia, and the suiting that they do through Shamat is insane. Check it out.
Dude, I will. That sounds great. Yeah, thanks. Cool, man. So let's see. Yeah, so I guess let's kind of shift more into the mental health side as we close. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but like, have you had that experience of when, you know, either some like outside kind of things were causing you to feel down or depressed or anything, and putting on a nice outfit or a suit or whatever as like really kind of up to your mood? Have you had that experience yourself, or can you explain seeing that, especially as a suit guy before this? I'm sure you've seen that when you've ordered some suits for people. It's like almost a physical transformation.
Yeah. First of all, for me, it's part of my I guess part of my life, you know, dressing up or dressing well. And that for me is, you know, it gets me into the mindset of, okay, now that I'm dressed properly, and now that I know I kind of look my best, I can handle whatever life throws at me, you know. So, and I don't know if I'd be able to handle some of the challenges that come my way if I was still in my pajamas, you know, hanging out at home. I have to dress up before I can handle customer complaints or, you know, things that go wrong at the factory. Like I need to be in the right mindset to do that. So that's, I guess, how it kind of affects me the most. But definitely there's almost always a physical transformation between before the client tries his new suit on and after he tries the new suit on, unless something goes wrong, of course, and then it's
sure.
Yeah, he tries it on and he's like, what the hell is this? That's a different transformation. But yeah, you can see like the twinkle in his eye. You can see the sides of the mouth curl up, you know, into a smile, and that's probably the most special part of you know, what we do is giving guys kind of a key to unlock that confidence, that satisfaction, and I dare say, you know, the happiness that comes from dressing well, looking good. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that you described it as you're able to, you know, just combat these negativities in your life before you even address them, you know, because I've always said on our site and everything that it's like putting on a modern day suit of armor to go into battle with, you know. It's whatever it might be, as long as it's giving you confidence. And the cool thing about us is I really did a lot of research and commissioned some studies even that prove scientifically that, you know, that feeling can help overcome your issues, you know, and mental issues and things like that. It might not do it for you, of course, but it opens the door, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I need to go and get a charger for my phone because my phone's going to die. So I'm going to walk with you through my house.
Hey, no problem, man. No problem.
Yeah. So I guess we answered that, did we?
Yeah, I think so.
Hit me with the next one while I'm walking.
Speaking as a generalization, how do you think mental health, confidence, and clothing all tie together?
Yeah, I think as we were discussing, when you dress well, you feel more confident, simply because you know you look your best. So, first of all, it's how you feel when you see yourself kind of in the mirror, but it's also how others kind of treat you day to day, and this can reinforce your confidence as well. So, if you're dressed in a crisp shirt, a nice pair of trousers, and a well-fitting jacket, and it doesn't have to be necessarily tailoring. It could also be coming from what I do now, like a really nice, well-fitting t-shirt or knitted jumper, a really beautiful kind of casual jacket, something that makes you feel good, right? People will treat you differently in your day-to-day life, and that in itself is something that can make you feel good, give you a little bit more confidence, and I guess lead to a more fulfilling life. So I think it all goes hand in hand to me. What do you think? Do you think dressing up? I guess this is your ethos, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man. To me, it's all about the confidence. So if, just like you said, even if it's just a jacket, a crisp shirt, a nice pair of trousers, as long as it's making you feel good about yourself, that's the only door that you need to be opening for the rest of the day. And it's so cool that it has to be in the morning before anything even happens, and that's my favorite part is being able to try on these clothes that are fit just for me or cut just for me or really well fitting, and being able just to, it's almost like your chest, like it's a little bit higher, and you're walking with your chin up a little bit because you know that you look your best. And I love how you said that it's dressing well. It's not like it's being like narcissistic or anything like that. It's just knowing that you feel good about yourself, and it's dressing well, and it's giving you the confidence, which you can then take to do whatever you need to do with it, to combat what you have going on in your life, or to do a great job at your work, or to have great conversations, like whatever it might be. It's always going to be a little bit better when you're feeling more confident.
Yeah. You mentioned having your chest out and your chin up. I think that's especially true with tailoring, and I don't know if that's something that anything else can do to you. Body language is really important for your for your mindset, for how the world sees you, and for how people treat you, and it all kind of goes together. But a suit, especially a tailored jacket, I think it almost trains your body to, to have your shoulders back a little bit, to have your chest out a little bit, to hold your head high. I think maybe I might be wrong, but my guess would be that a crisp shirt and a well-fitted suit is probably the one thing that will really encourage that body language, So, yeah, just a thought.
No, I completely agree with you, man. And I've noticed it just in my own wardrobe. I've been trying to build my wardrobe out and everything. It's been really cool, and it's definitely really interesting. It's been a great learning experience for me personally, and I've just noticed so many little nuances that I do differently when I'm wearing a suit versus when I'm just hanging out in a t-shirt or something,
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Nice. Well, cool, man. Thanks so much for doing this interview. We don't really have a name for this. This is my very first interview that I've done. So thanks so much for doing it. And
what can we call it? Inherent interviews.
Inherent interviews. I like it. Or inherent conversations.
Yeah. Inherent conversations. Yeah. No, I think you could probably come up with something better than that. Yeah. Well, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really kind of respect what you're doing, and I look forward to seeing how it goes over time, how you grow. It's going to be good.
Thank you, man. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I hope I can come visit you guys soon. I actually have a few connections in Melbourne now that we're talking to, so hopefully business will bring me out there and I'll swing by the shop.
Cool. Yeah, you're welcome anytime. Definitely if you plan on making a trip, definitely let me know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, man. Well, hey, have a great rest of your day. I'm going to finish my whiskey and wind down, but
thanks, man. Enjoy the whiskey. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Yeah. Talk to you soon, man. See ya.